Hey there, it's David. You folks should be able to hear me and see the screen, and I hope that that's working just fine. So if you don't mind, confirm in the chat box that you can hear and see the screen, please. Okay. You should be able to hear and see the screen just fine. Ah, there you are. Good. Good. Now I am seeing some folks in here, and looks like you are in the room. So if you can, please let me know that you can hear and see the screen, okay? Ah, thank you. Yes, Tim, thanks. Okay, we're about to get started here. Outstanding. Welcome, folks. So we're going to talk about coaching today. And if you have any questions about coaching and whether you should be one or not, I'm going to try to encourage you that you definitely should, and this is probably an area where you want to move into. It's if you've got an online business, this is kind of like part of the ultimate process of your business funnel. So we're going to talk about this a little bit today. Okay, good. Hey, Elson, good to see you. Glad you're here. Excellent. Okay, so give me just a moment of silence here so I can get the recording started. I am recording this both in YouTube and in Camtasia. Hey, this is David Perdue from MyNAMS.com and the Novice to Advanced Marketing System. And I have news. Notice that we have a new incorporation at the end of my, on the slide here. It is NAMS Inc. It'll be NAMS Inc. finalized by the end of this month. We have already gotten our name and everything is looking good for that. So that's going to be a whole lot easier to deal with than Niche Affiliate Marketing System, which no longer applies to us anyway. So it is going forward, it's going to be NAMS Inc. And that'll stand for whatever I want it to stand for. So that's terrific. So if this is your first time on a weekly live training, I'd love for you to drop a note in the box here in the chat box and tell us that it is and that where you're from and what you're doing and how you found us. So I would love for you to jump in here. We have a lot of people on the line. That's great. And we're going to talk today about coaching and why you need to be a coach and why that is probably part of your future. Now, you may decide for some reason that you don't want to be a coach of some sort, but I would expect that you do. So if you have coaching in your plans as part of your business, drop that in the chat box here too. Tell us that you are planning to be a coach or not. I'd like to know how many people on here are already coaches. Say, I am already a coach, or I plan to be a coach. So if you would just type that into the chat box, and we will address that in just a minute when those come in. Let's see. Okay. So today's topic is why coaching is part of your business and why you need to be a coach as well. So I don't know if you wouldn't go to a doctor probably, or you definitely wouldn't go to a shrink if they didn't already have a shrink. That's one of the cardinal rules among psychologists and psychiatrists is that they always have their own who helps them through their tough spots as well. So there's a lot of people out there who ensure that they that think that they don't want to coach, don't want to be a coach, but yet they will have a coach. They will get a coach, and they need coaches to help them. At some point, though, you may actually want to be a coach, and the best way to learn to be a coach is to have a coach for a while and learn from that coach, and then adapt that and become a coach as well. So this is kind of a big topic, and we're going to talk about this a lot. So in this entire presentation today is about coaching and getting into the coaching business. So let's see. Michelle says she plans to be a coach in Maryland. Marge says she's been a coach for many years. With a recent hiatus, Andrew says he's not sure. Who would he coach? And we'll find out, Andrew. Maybe there's some of this will relate to you, and you'll figure out who you would coach. Tim says not sure, possibly someday. Let's see. Jackie says not planning to be a coach. Well, you may change your mind after this. And Cheryl, your first time here, so we're glad to have you here. So, and John said yes, he's a coach, and Elson is already a coach, but wants to do more with coaching. And Margaret says planning to be in the distant future. Okay, so let's get right into it. So I came to be a coach late. I resisted it with all my might. I did it maybe 4 years ago. I started coaching, and I did it for about 2 years. And I did it in such a way that I met with people every Wednesday night and Tuesday nights, as a matter of fact, for about 4 hours apiece. 4 different people, 4 1-hour slots, and it was personal coaching. And I was worn out after about 18 months of that. And it was something that I just flat said I would never do again, because it was like having a job to me. I did not want to have a job anymore, and I wanted the flexibility that that the online world and the internet lifestyle gave me, and being a coach seemed to be the opposite of that. Some people love having personal face-to-face meetings. I love that too, but I don't like being locked into it. So I swore off coaching. Then this year, I came back to it, and I'm going to show you why in a few minutes. But first, I want to tell you a story that about coaching that really influenced me a lot. Like I said here, I was kicking and screaming about coaching, but that was really a mistake. Not focusing on that and making it work for me in the way that I wanted to. Janet said, by the way, Janet says she's been a coach for about 5 years and always looking for new ways of coaching, and this is her first time here, so welcome, Janet. Love to have you here. Do you know Frederick Lehrman? That's my question for you at the moment. Do you know Frederick Lehrman? You probably don't. This guy did one Nightingale Conant tape series, and I think it was done probably in 94, 95. I listened to it maybe even earlier. It might have been even earlier. But I listened to it in the late 90s. And his tape series was called Prosperity Consciousness. And it was a 6-tape set then, and it's probably DVDs now. I hope it's DVDs now. Nobody's got a tape player. And Frederick was a photographer, a humanist, a kind of a guru type guy who was a Buddhist and all of that. Frederick was also a coach. And when he worked with people, he did not charge them any money, because he believed, he had this new agey kind of belief that people would pay what they thought it was worth, and it was always more than he was willing to charge. And he always got more money than he was willing to charge. So I learned a lot from him, but one of the things I learned was when you know something more than somebody else, when you know anything that can help somebody else learn, you're a coach. And he talked about putting himself through college as a guitar instructor, and he'd only been taking guitar for about 6 months to a year, and he basically could play the scales. But he was getting better all the time, and he was diligent about practicing. But he started taking students right away when he was only playing the guitar for 6 months. Now, he couldn't show them how to play like Segovia or any kind of flamenco or anything that was intricate, but he could teach them how to get started because he had learned from somebody how to get started. So that was the point of his of one of his lessons in this tape set called Prosperity Consciousness. It was that when you know something of value, you can charge for it. And so he put himself through college teaching beginning guitar. When somebody got better than he was, they would move on. And when he got better, he could charge more. And that's the way that worked. Now, I'll tell you another story. My wife, Charlesa, many of you know her. If you've been to NAMS, you know her. When she and I got married in 1998, she was a school teacher, and she was teaching in a school that she did not enjoy. And so she said, well, I would like to teach private lessons, I think, full time. She had a couple of students as a private voice teacher. She was an opera singer and had been called the best sight reading teacher in the Southeast by the Atlanta Opera Chorus Master. So she had some credentials, but she was teaching little kids in grade school basic singing, and it did not fulfill her. So she wanted to move on. So we sat down one day, and I said, okay, how much do you want to charge for your private lessons? How much do you think you can get for coaching new students? She told me what she thought the number was. And I said, okay, let's just figure out how to replace your income the way it is now. So we took her income. We decided how many days she wanted to teach privately. So she only wanted to teach privately 3 days a week. We took her income and determined the number of students that it would take at the rate that she was going to charge over 3 days a week to replace that income. And she said, okay, well, that seems like a lot. I think it was 28 students that was going to take to replace that income. And I said, all right, this is March. If you want to, by the end of the school year, if you want to say you're quitting at the end of the school year, get 28 students lined up. And that's exactly what she did. She put the word out that she was going to take on private students, and she got 28 ongoing private students lined up. In fact, she had a waiting list beyond that. So it was easy to figure that out. Now, it's easy to be a coach when you have a lot of knowledge and you have a lot of experience and you can show results. And she had all of that going for her. If you're brand new to the online business world or to your own niche, then you have to figure out what you're going to coach and who you're going to coach and how you're going to do it. So the first thing you want to know is why you should coach. So I've written down 5 points here. You want to help clients attain the success that you have already attained. So that means that you have to have some success. You have to be able to show that you have some results, you have some experience, and you have the ability to move forward. Now, remember my Frederick Lerman story. It does not have to be a lot of success. If you are going to compete against somebody who's getting $1,000 an hour as a coach, you better have a lot of results. If you're going to compete against that person at the $1,000 an hour level, but you're only going to teach a small segment of a niche, and you're only going to teach the beginning segment of that, and you're going to charge $100 an hour, then you might have a market there. So you have to evaluate where you are, what your results are, and what your success rate has been. Then you're going to show the clients the next steps that they should take. Basically, it is a step-by-step process. Everything is a step-by-step process. Everything is linear. Everything is a project plan. And you can create a checklist that will take people through a specific task and hold them accountable to get that done. And that really is what coaching is helping people get from A to Z. And then you want to make sure that they are accountable for doing that so that you have that result to point back to. You want to give your clients the satisfaction of achieving success on their own. So you don't want to make it a done-for-you business, because clients need to be able to do the process and be able to do the process themselves. So you're walking people through it. You're giving them a little bit of a hand-holding on the way through it. You provide the tools to help your clients. Now, that doesn't mean you give them away. You might have some tools that you give away, like templates or checklist or whatever it is, as part of your coaching sessions, but you also might have some tools that you suggest that they buy or use based on your experience. And this is all about your experience, so that's important. And then you definitely want to live as an example of the success that your clients desire. So that means that you have to show them where they're going to get if they follow your example and your results. If you, let's see, what is it? One of the questions that I heard from somebody one time is, not long ago, is if you want what they have, be careful that you don't get what they have when you're looking for a coach, because you want to make sure that they have what you're looking for. In other words, I'm trying to say here that you want to make sure that somebody has got what you want as a coaching client. As a coach, you want to make sure that the people that you hook up with don't that they are interested in living the kind of lifestyle that you're living and having the kind of success that you're demonstrating. Okay? Now, this is something that I've learned just recently from one of my coaches. I got a new coach in about 2 weeks ago. I actually have 3 now, and 3 coaches, and I use them for different things. One of my coaches said to me the other day that you need to understand the 80-20 rule. If 20% of your customers don't provide 80% of your income, your business is on life support. When I heard that, it kind of scared me, because I thought, I don't think that's going to be true in my case. And it wasn't. I have my percentage is larger than 20%, and it makes me very uncomfortable that it is larger than 20%. It's not a lot larger than 20%, but I understood completely what he was saying. So if you look at your business and 80% of your income doesn't come from 20% of your clients, then you're not charging enough and you don't have a deep enough funnel. And his point to me was that if your funnel isn't deep enough, if your marketing funnel isn't deep enough, and you don't have enough high end in your marketing funnel, then you're always working at that low end where you're getting what he calls a lot of problem children. We all need customers that love us and will pay top dollar. It's not because we're good people. I mean, that can be a factor. But mostly it's because we help them get the kind of results that they are looking for. So people will pay for results, and you need to help show them how to get those results. And when it comes to pricing, when we say top dollar earlier in that phrase, when it comes to pricing, Alex Mandossian, a new friend of mine, a good friend of mine since the last workshop, says pricing is an indicator of self-esteem. That really kind of hit me, because I have always been somebody who wanted to give low prices to people as a way of helping people access training, and a way of helping people really get into our system on the low end. And I think he's right. I think working at the low end undermines your self-esteem, as well as maybe your self-esteem isn't big enough to charge $25 or $50 or $100,000 for VIP days or whatever it is that you have at the high end of your funnel. We're going to look at the funnel in just a second too. In fact, right now we're going to look at the funnel. So you can see this is my funnel. This is the one I've been working on. This funnel has become the what do you say, the pillar of my entire business. And I've showed this to the insiders several times, and this is I'm going to explain this and how we came up with this. And I came up with this, by the way, through Alex's training at the NAMS workshop last time. And I'll tell you a little secret about this. My wife came up with this funnel because she was sitting in Alex's session, and I was an hour late to his session, and she came in and smacked me a little bit and said, "This is incredibly important, and you need to pay attention to this," because my funnel actually ended about midway in here. The last 4 items on this list are new to my funnel. I did have a $600 product in here, but it wasn't a $997, and I didn't have a $39, and I didn't have a $10, and I didn't have a $25K. Since the last workshop, I now have all of those products in my funnel. Doesn't mean that I sell all those products, but it makes it a lot easier to get into my system if I have those products outlined and know where I'm going. So I have my funnel in place. Now we'll start from the bottom. $25,000 is VIP days. We're going to have VIP days at my home where people can come, or at your home. For $25,000, I will come to your home and do 2 days of working with you on your business. And that's the high end of my funnel right now. The high end of one of the NAMS instructors that I've seen, one of their funnels is 100K for exactly that. Their self-esteem's pretty good. It's at the 100K level. So mine is at the 25K with VIP days right now. Now, the way that I've built my funnel out, though, you'll see the green in my funnel area. I'll see if I can add this screen draw here. Yeah, you see this green area right here. That is that green triangle means anytime you buy, if you bought the 25K in my funnel, you're going to get everything all the way up through the funnel with that. 10K is going to go all the way up. 39K for the lifetime goes all the way up. What that means is you get all the products, you get all of the monthly memberships, you get all of the email coaching, you get the NAMS workshop, and any of the products that we produce, like the micro workshops or any of that. So that is how this funnel works. Now, it doesn't work that way in the level outside of the green. So if you get in this area, then you're looking at only that product. This is only that product. This is only that product. But when you get into the higher ticket items, you're going to go all the way through. Now, the reason this is important is because if you don't have a funnel in place, you don't have a business that is moving you into that 20% range. And how would you like to have 5 sales at $10,000 instead of 5 sales at $97? I mean, people have been saying for years to me that it is easy to do, just as easy to do 5 high-ticket sales as it is 5 low-ticket sales. Now, if you have experience with that, I'd love for you to put it in here. Go ahead and say in the chat box what your top end in your funnel is, what you're charging in your top end of your funnel if you have a funnel. And if you don't have a funnel, put that in here as well, because we need to work on your funnel. And that's something that's going to drive your entire business, okay? So type that in the chat box, and we'll come back to that in just a second. So now what we're going to look at is how you can improve your coaching and what you may be doing wrong in your coaching world. So I asked the question here, where are you going wrong? Coaching is 99% personality and 99% positioning. And what do we mean by that? I used to have a contract that I worked with when I represented photographers as a photographer's agent. And my contract, the first line of my contract said, I don't work with the jerks. I don't work with jerks. I broke that rule one time, and I paid for it for about 2 years. Somebody who had a large library of pictures, but he was incredibly painful to work with. So I stick to that, and that carries through in my personality as well. I'm very straightforward, but I'm also very encouraging and very kind of blunt. But I think my personality is, people have told me that my personality is such that it is easy to get along with. So that's what I'm trying to do, is be easy to get along with. So what's positioning? Positioning means, how are you positioning yourself? Are you positioning yourself as an expert, or are you positioning yourself as something else? So if you're not positioning yourself as an expert, nobody is going to come to you for coaching on that topic. So how can you teach if you don't do that? So let's see. Marion says she has no funnel. Jocelyn says no funnel yet, just switch focus and setting everything up. And Cheryl says the funnel is set up, but lots of tweaking going on. And Jackie says no funnel. So it doesn't sound like we have a group here, and we have a lot more folks on who probably don't want to share or are not sharing yet about their funnel. If you're in the Insiders group 2 months ago, I know that you have a funnel, because that's what we worked on all month in the Insiders group, getting your funnel set up, because that's an incredibly important thing before you can start moving forward in making bigger dollars. So back to the positioning. If you're not seeing yourself as an expert, no one else will see you as an expert. So you have to position yourself as an expert in whatever topic that you want. How can you teach the right way? You have to understand your marketplace so that you can decide what approach is best for your marketplace. Is VIP days a good approach for your marketplace, or is group coaching the better approach? One of our instructors, Joyce Jagger, does a great job of coaching people on embroidery. She's got a 6-figure business where she's teaching on embroidery. We've had her on the weekly live trainings in our My NAM site, and if you'd like to listen to Joyce about how she's doing that in a real niche, you can go take a look and listen to Joyce over there. But it's really interesting how you can actually identify your niche and realize that you can teach from that niche. So people need to know, who are you? what you're all about, what you teach, what you can help them achieve, and that you're trustworthy. The first 4 bullets here are about what you know and what you can teach and what their results are. The last bullet there is, can you be trusted? And that's where testimonials and word of mouth and reputation really build in. So you need to make sure that you're protecting that all along the way and enhancing that as you make entrees out to your coaching groups, your coaching clients. And you need to know who you're trying to reach. So that means building a market. Who's your ideal client? Avoid those who want you to wave a magic wand or make $1 million overnight. So I have somebody who approached me and wanted me to coach them and said, I would love to be able to make 6 figures within 4 months. Wouldn't everybody love to be able to make 6 figures within 4 months? I can't promise anybody that they'll make a nickel in 4 months, because it really is up to the individual on how they tackle the work that has to be done. Jocelyn, yes, you can see the replays for what I mentioned earlier. If you're in the Insiders group, all you have to do is go to the Insiders group and you can watch any of the replays in there. William, you're going to see my funnel at the end of the presentation as well, so it'll be back up, so just hang on tight. Let's see, so anyway, when I was first starting out, I think it was 2004 when I was just getting online, I went to a guy that became my coach because he gave me this answer. And I said, when am I going to start making money? I've been doing this over a year. And I'd spent a lot of money, by the way. It's been like $20,000. And I said, when am I going to start making money? And he looked at me and he said, when are you going to decide to? And that, at first, I thought was a really flippant answer. But the truth is that we all have to decide to do that. And that was a big key in me moving forward in my own coaching process with him, because that to me was a decision at that point that I wanted to learn and I wanted to move forward. So I hired him as my coach, and that's when I began making money, was when I hired him as my coach and began paying attention and decided that I was ready to make money. So if somebody comes to you and says that they want to make $1 million overnight, they don't want to work and will likely ask for a refund. By the way, I don't give refunds on coaching. That's time for dollars. And so time for dollars is something I just don't give refunds on. You can try it on a trial, but I'm not going to give a refund for somebody who's taking up my time. And I will give free consulting sessions to get people interested in the coaching. So if you go to the MindAM site, you'll see a tab down the bottom that says book your free strategy session. And that is a free coaching session that you can book for 15 or 20 minutes, and we can take a look and get started to determine whether you're a good coaching fit or not. So clients should connect with you on a personal level. These are the clients who will invest. So it's usually not somebody that's just going to come in off the street that's going to be able to plunk down the coaching money for you. Authenticity will attract people to your style. So being real, being who you are, trying not to be somebody else. This is the coaching mistakes. Trying to be somebody else is a huge coaching mistake. I never ever tell anybody that I have all the answers, because I don't have all the answers. I also never tell people that I do things perfectly, because I never do things perfectly. But I do tell people that they can learn from my mistakes, and that they can also rely on me to find out the answer. So if I don't know the answer to something, I can always dig deep for them and find the answer, or at least find them a place to where they can get the answer that they need. Being artificial, superficial, that doesn't work anywhere for very long. It can get you in a door sometimes, but after that, people are going to find out. Not knowing your mission, not knowing who you can help is also a big issue. So not knowing your mission, what is your mission? The mission statement of NAMS is to help as many people as possible build wealth with their business online. And that's a big mission statement for the NAMS system. For me, my mission statement in coaching is basically to help people become bigger and better at their business, becoming more of who they are, and being able to make a lot of money with that. So that's why I get excited working with individuals, because we get to know each other well. So I'm really enjoying the coaching that I'm doing now. Not knowing who you can help. That's a big one, because if you get started with somebody and they're not going to take any action, like I said earlier, then you're in trouble. So it's really important that you pay attention and weed people out. Just don't take everybody. Define your mission in general terms first. I just talked about that. Then drill down deep in your mission. You want to make sure that you look as deep as possible into why you're doing this and how you can be beneficial to others. And what's your core values and how you line up with core values with others. Be as specific as you can in defining your mission and your audience. So in other words, I know that my audience is 63 or 65% women now. 85% of my audience is over 45 years old. So I don't relate well to the 30-year-olds or the 25-year-olds who are into the party scene and chasing dollars fast. I want people who are building real businesses. So when I go to events, I can look around the room and say, boy, who do I need to focus on in this room? And sometimes it's only a half a dozen people. Sometimes it's an entire group. But I know who my audience is, and I know whether they're a good fit or not. And sometimes somebody younger comes up to me and says that they really like what we do because we're into building assets. That's a person that is that will fit into our system. So it's not an age thing, it's an outlook thing. Let's see. So this brainstorming exercise, by the way, is going to help you determine where you are going to offer the most benefit and how to hone your coaching message. So the last question is ask questions of people you know, or the last suggestion is to ask questions of people you know in groups or social media. These are people who have seen you and know you, and it's often, it's great when people actually give you some feedback that helps you hone your viewpoints about yourself, because I'm a terrible judge of who I am. Other people tell me often that somebody told me about 6 months ago, when I was at the workshop, not 6 months ago, 6 workshops ago. We're coming up on NAMS 12, so it would have been like NAMS 6 or 7. I said at that time that I was so impressed with the people that we had in the NAMS group, how much I loved the people in the NAMS group. And somebody said to me that I was attracting those people because they matched my core values. And I didn't think anything about that. I kind of brushed it off, but over a period of time I looked back at it, and it's true. I do attract those kind of people because I do reflect my core values. I do wear my core values pretty transparently, so people know me, and they know my spiritual base, they know my financial base, they know my goals, they know my family orientation, they know how important my kids and my wife are to me, and they know a lot about me. So I let other people tell me often what they see first before I try to tell other people what I see. Format these questions to find out what your unique qualities are. We just talked about that. Define what makes you different from other coaches and what will make your services unique. This was important for me. I went to other coaches that I'd worked with and said, why would I be a good coach? And they gave me some good insight and some good bullet points, basically. And some of those were things that I hadn't really thought about. Now, one of the things I know about myself is I'm great at making connections. Alex Mandosian calls it trialoguing. I'm great at being the pivot point for introducing a student to other people who somebody might want to know about video marketing, and I introduce that student to Lou Bortone, who's great at video marketing. So one of the things that comes for me as a coach is that I make sure that I'm doling people out to people who have the right answers and who can help in specific training. And then also I make sure that I teach people what I know, so that so I rely on my own expertise as well. So why should other people come to you for coaching instead of a competitor of yours? I just talked about that a little bit. You have to really figure out what your unique selling proposition is. Basically, why would people want to come to work with you? And you need to know that. You need to have that written down. It needs to be on your coaching sales letter. Building trust, convincing your clients they should hire you. Identify and promise to get them past roadblocks. That means you're going to have to dig into them and find out what the roadblocks are. How can you promise to get them past roadblocks if you don't know exactly what the roadblocks are? You have an intake form. Every coach should have an intake form, and in that intake form you're going to ask them what the roadblocks are, and you're going to rely on that interview process basically to determine just up front if they are at a space where you can help them or not. If you get into it and you find out the roadblocks are a little different than what you were expecting, then you might have to adapt and adjust, and everybody needs to understand that going forward. In my coaching evaluation up front with people, I give them some documentation that tells them what my philosophy is about coaching and what they can expect from my coaching, so that they aren't disappointed. That was one of the things. That we that I got in trouble with in one of my very first coaching engagements as a coachee. We weren't clear on what the expectations were, and the coach was really disappointed as well as me, and it turned out to be a hard thing for both of us. So you want to make sure the expectations are set. Show them how to take action. That's going to be checklists. That's going to be whatever tools you can offer them on how to take action. It could be daily check-ins. It could be one of the things that I used to use a lot, and I loved it, was what's called a doneness matrix. And it means you've got a list of things to do. I'm a very action-oriented and a very implementation-oriented person, so I like to have a doneness matrix. Here's your list of things that you said you were going to do, and when you were going to do them, how are you doing on getting that done? So that, to me, is a key to the entire process. Help them achieve those goals. That's my doneness matrix. Help them live the way you do. I'm not sure about this last one so much, to help them live the way you do. I don't necessarily want people to live the way that I do. I want them to live the way that they want to live more fully, because that's the way that I want to live. I want to live the way that I live more fully. So that's really what I want for my coaching students too, is that they find the freedom and the independence that we all are after. The tools you need a perfect gift, perfect free gift, a website that reassures and engages, a focus on unique area of expertise, and a reassurance of continued updates and instruction. So a lot of this is going to depend on the type of coaching that you're talking about. A unique, free, perfect free gift for a VIP day is not so important, because you've probably worked with those people already into some kind of trust relationship. But to get them into your group coaching may be important if that's a lower end. We'll look at the funnel again and talk about that. A website that reinsures and engages, we'll go through that in the next few slides and talk about that. So dealing with your doubts. Your clients choose you because you have something they want. Clients believe you can give them what they desire. Clients want to hear about your struggles and how you overcome them. Clients rarely want someone who's perfect. So this goes back to being authentic and being real. You want to make sure that your clients understand that you've been there, done that. You know, the reason we hire a coach is to help us get through the learning curve, basically. You want to get through the learning curve fast. What is it they say about pioneers? They all have arrows in their backs. So doneness, JT, that was DONENESS, doneness. It was like a completion matrix. You could call it that as well. It's just when I learned it in the consulting world, in the corporate world, we used something called a daily doneness matrix, and that's how we spelled it, DONENESS, doneness. You can call it completion matrix as well. So your clients really want to know that you understand what they're going through and that you've been through it. And if you can talk to them about your experience doing that, you're going to be that much closer to them. But you also have to show them that you got to the other side, right? You went through it with the help of others even. I mean, you can talk about that too, that you got the help of your coaches and you went through it and you're on the other side. So two types of clients: those who don't have self-confidence issues and who just want to use your tools and accountability. And then there are those who struggle with self-confidence and need assistance to see their unique qualities. I got to tell you, the second one's a lot harder. People who don't see their value and have less self-confidence are going to be a lot more resistant to making bigger changes, but it's incredibly rewarding when that works. And life coaches tend to deal more with clients who have self-esteem issues, like I said here. So, you know, if you want, like I said earlier, I have 3 coaches. I have one coach who is specifically helping me with conversions and funnels. And that guy I talk to a lot. I do a lot of A/B split testing, and I make sure that we go over those things together, and he gives me ideas and examples of things that have worked for him in the past, because he's outstanding at that. And I have another coach who is all about, and this is just an email marketing coach, that is all about, you know, reviewing sales pages for me, giving me ideas on how to tap into other people's emotions, because he's great at that. And then I have another coach who is an event coach who helps me with my workshops and who helps me with my own speaking engagements. So I've got 3 coaches helping me in different areas, and in the speaking engagements, I have real self-confidence issues there. So that's something I'm really working on, and he's working on with me. Now I'm kind of a problem child there, but I also am I'm doing what I'm told. So I hope to get on the other side of that. Choose your coaching model. Public free membership forum, good way to test your market, and that could be just a limited free coaching activity. Private elite forum. I just purchased and am in Amy Porterfield's Facebook VIP coaching program. It's a 6-week course with weekly webinars on using Facebook to improve your launch tactics and your advertising tactics. It was a $997 private coaching in this elite Facebook group. She has almost 200 members in there, so she did all right on that launch. That was the high-end ticket. She had 2 levels. The first was $300 or $350, whatever it was, $397, something like that, and that was do-it-yourself. So she was offering the do-it-yourself, and she's offering the do-it-together. And then one of the other aspects of coaching that you can offer if you really want to is a done-for-you. You know, local marketers are doing the done-for-you coaching a lot, and they charge a monthly retainer for that, and many of them do really well. So this private elite forum is usually a small number of highly motivated students. That's the Amy Porterfield thing that I'm talking about. We have a private elite forum for the insiders group, and we would have a private forum for all the other levels of our coaching as well. One-on-one coaching, this can involve phone calls and assignments. That was what I was doing earlier, and I didn't like that all that much. I like one-on-one coaching. I just don't like to have to sit and talk into a microphone to another student live on the other side. I like to do that. I enjoy that, but I don't like being tied down, like I said. So you're going to find out what works for you and what doesn't. Closed Facebook groups. We talked about that a little bit. Webinar coaching, we talked about that a little bit. The weekly live training has been a webinar coaching, free webinar coaching for the last 2 years. It will continue to be a free webinar coaching. By the way, this is probably the last live webinar coaching that we're going to do, the weekly live training, until after the workshop in August. We're probably going to go on a summer hiatus, and with our encore replays of previous coaching webinars and seminars, and that's one way of doing this as well. The content and the value is still great. We have over 100 of those, so we'll pick 12 of the best ones and move forward with that. Okay, customize your program. Customize these models to fit your own style. Let me see where I am. I want to make sure I'm not too far away here from the running out of time, because I don't want this to go long. Just a second here to make sure. Ooh, I got to hurry up. Okay. Customize your program. Customize these models to fit your own style. Deal with your own self-esteem of or public speaking issues. I talked about mine. Be honest with yourself and your clients. They don't want a coach who doesn't walk the walk. Okay, so number, well, 2 and 3 there, the 2 and 3 bullets, particularly for me, were an issue because I didn't want to be face-to-face on a Skype call with people having to be there at a certain time. So I've customized my coaching program so that I never have to be there when I don't every week. Now I can schedule mastermind sessions and I can schedule VIP days, but that's the once in a while, right? The only thing that's close to that is in the Insiders Club. We have a weekly hangout. We have one tomorrow afternoon, and I enjoy doing those because that's something that I really look forward to, is talking to the students and also teaching something then. So that's always fun for me, and it's during the day, so that's good. So I've customized the programs to fit my needs. Tailoring your website. Your website should reflect a coaching model, position, clientele. Plan your site before making your changes. Mind maps can be helpful, or just use a pen and paper. So I love mind maps. You know I love mind maps. This is just a mind map of a project plan I grabbed off of Big Stock, and it shows that you break it into different sections. Like it's got requirements, goals, information, risk, actual progress, and so you're breaking your website into different areas, and you're building your website so that it reflects your coaching style and the information. So we're not going to go into that much because this is not about building your website. Just want to make sure that you understand it. You want to start with your ideal client. Print out specific details about her background and coaching needs. Glance at the profile to keep you focused. So in other words, build an avatar, a customer avatar. Create the perfect sign-up incentive. Doesn't have to be free. Consider a $1 trial to your elite membership site. I have a $7 trial into the Insiders Club, and it converts really well. People love the $7 trial because I give them so much in the Insiders group, and that's become the most popular program that we have. And we will be doing more and more of that because I'm planning to grow that, because that's where my high-end coaching clients are going to come from, is the Insiders group. So, you know, that is, the last statement there, wealthy people often shy away from free gifts. To me, that's really important because people who sign up for free gifts are usually freebie seekers. So I'm trying very hard not to do free items anymore, although we do have some stuff for people to get into our list with free items. So we have a way for affiliates who want to use that to get into the system. So sign-up incentives should instantly solve a problem or save them time. How will you present your incentive? It doesn't have to be an ebook. How unique is your offering, and is there a demand for your incentive? So one of the things that people do that I love is that they take one task, one problem, solve that problem, but it's part of a bigger issue, a part of a bigger problem, and then you get in to showing them the solution to the bigger problem for pay as part of your coaching program. So how will you present your incentive? We do a lot of hangouts. We do a lot of replays. We do a lot of video. We do very little in the way of ebooks. We do have some reports and stuff in play, but you can do whatever works for you and your audience. So how unique is your offering? It should be very unique. It should be you. It should be something that is from you. And even if you start with PLR, which I often recommend that you start with PLR, you still make it unique to you. So is there a demand for your incentive? You want to make sure that the marketplace wants that. You can test it. And that's one of the reasons I'm excited about this Amy Porterfield course that I'm taking, coaching that I'm taking, is because it's all about improving your incentive so that you get tons and tons of people from Facebook into your system. And I'm expecting huge results from that, or I'm going to be very disappointed. Create content that makes people want to sign up. I have a ton of content. Putting it in logical order is a bigger issue for us. So one of the things you're going to see from us this summer, we're basically burning down the MyNAMS website, and we're going to start from scratch with one big button on the front, and I'm talking figuratively here, not necessarily the way it's going to be, but figuratively it's going to be with a start here. And we're going to try to lead people through the linear content that we have depending on where you are. So we're going to test you and drop you in where you need to be based on your own experience. Now, you know that I love teaching experience-based and training from experience-based place, whether you're 100, 200, 300, or 400. So that's that. Present it regularly and repetitively. Video, blog post, repetitive format so people recognize it as yours. Use call to actions for people to sign up. Offer different types of calls to action. So you're going to see a lot more from us on Facebook. You're going to see a lot more ads from us on Facebook. We're going to be offering a lot more video training on Facebook. And we're going to be targeting not only new students, but also new affiliates and JV partners. And if you follow us, you're going to see a lot of ads probably. It's going to be an entire summer of interesting new stuff. Make it all about your client. Your website should be all about your client, not about you and what you do, but all about what your client's going to get. Let's see. Content should contain more you messages than I messages. That's what we just said. Tailor your post products and incentives and resources around your clients' pressing needs. You got to know what those are, so you have to do a little investigation in forums and Facebook groups and elsewhere to find out what those needs are. And you can just flat out ask people too what those needs are. Okay, so this is Melissa Ingold's site, and you can see here that her mission is to help people with this is time freedom business, and you can see that she's got a site on helping people outsource and saving time. So the site's clean and easy, and she's got one page which I do not have on my site yet, and I have been threatening to do this for a long time, and I really need to do this because this is one of the most helpful things you can do to your coaching clients and your students or any visitor. Is what tools are you using, and where do they, how can they save time with these tools? So that's a great opportunity right there, and something that I need to implement immediately. Tailoring your website, use a professional coaching photo that works. Place it in your header. This is mine. I've used this for a long time. Somebody has said to me just recently that I need a new headshot, that this head-on, that this full face frontal view is passé. To tell the truth, it's worked. So people recognize me easily wherever I go, and it's because I use this one picture. Now, I will be having a new picture shot at the next workshop, and we'll test that to see how that works as well. But you know, I look the same pretty much, maybe a little bit older, but anyway. Let's see, place your headshot. You know, these are all this is all important information about your photo, and you can look at this on the replay or in the download, in the PDF download that you'll have with this as well. The last one's really important. Invest in a professional photographer, please. You need good lighting. You need somebody who knows what they're doing, and you want to make sure that you have the right background. The reason we offer photos at the workshops, NAMS 12 coming up will offer that as well, is that people need to have the ability to get good quality, clean background, good headshots with good lighting, and it's really important that you do that. Tailoring your website, create your calls to action. Create more than one call to action, give your clients multiple ways to contact you. QR codes are a good way to do it. This one is a big one here. If you're going to be a coach, a free 20-minute consultation or some other goodie. That's a way to start the conversation, and you really want to just start the conversation. Be cognizant of how many of your clients use mobile. 82% of the world's population are mobile users. So how many of your clients are using mobile, and how does your website react to the mobile? So a lot of folks are using iPads now as their main computer. So be very aware of that, how it looks on iPads. Oops, went too far. Optimize your site for SEO. We teach a lot about SEO, and I'm not going to go into this, but you can do a lot to improve your SEO so that people find you more easily. Strip out everything from your site that takes away from your message. Make your signature programs memorable and be creative with your program names. This one, the top one, is a huge issue. It's this thing right here. Strip out everything from your site that takes away from your message. It's really important for you to have a very clear, very straightforward message on your website, because that can cause more confusion than and more bounce from your site than anything. If people can't figure out what you're talking about, then you are going to lose them right away. That's called bounce, and you can see how your site's doing with bounce by hooking up to your Google Analytics and looking at that. Our site has a 53% bounce rate, which means any page that they hit, if they leave from that page and leave your site, that's a bounce. 53%, by the way, is really good. I was told that anything under 70 is pretty good. Anything under 50 is outstanding. So you know, we're headed toward less than 50, and we're not going to stop until we get there. Okay. Cross promote on social media pages. Advertising, try Facebook. I've talked about that some, or e-zines that offer advertising space. At some point, if you're going to do high-end coaching, you're going to have to advertise to the right people, and those people have got money, and usually that's going to happen with good advertising. Affiliate promotions hold contests. We do that often. Provide promotional materials and email campaigns. Let's see, word of mouth. I got three. I should have actually put them in the presentation today, but I didn't. I got 3 testimonials from people about my coaching, and I will use that when I put my page together for high-end coaching, so that you get that. That is word of mouth. That's proof. Any kind of word of mouth is proof that people need to pay attention to you and believe that you are the real deal. And you can ask people to share. So I've gotten 2 coaching clients that were referrals from other coaches, and that's something that you want to make sure that you do too. Is, you know, make people aware that you're doing coaching. One of the things that is the impetus for me actually starting back into the coaching world is that people kept asking me, "Are you going to do any coaching?" And I kept saying, "No, I don't do coaching. I just forward people on to other coaches." And then what I realized was people who were in my system were paying some of the instructors $10,000 a year for their personal coaching, when in fact they'd asked me first if I would do that for them. Now, why would I turn down $10,000 a year to start coaching people? But you know, for some reason, I felt like I just didn't want to get into coaching. And in fact, I was a little nervous about the coaching flexibility that I talked about earlier because of the way that I did it. So once I figured out that I could build it the way I wanted to build it, I'm good with it, and I'm doing more and more of that. So these are other additional strategies: local promotions, free or local paid workshop. You know, my bank has offered to let me set up a workshop at the bank, and they're really high-end conference room to actually drive in local clients for them, because they really wanted their local clients to be doing more of what we're doing. So that's something I'm going to look into in the near future after we get our site completed. So that's next for us. But take a look at whatever else you can do. There's some good tips here. So I wanted to show you some of the things that we do. We're offering coaching for different budgets and different styles. So we have the VIP days, which I've talked to you about. It's everything in the funnel that we offer. It's $25K a year. So everything in the funnel. $25K a year, 2 days of live interactive work on your business with you, 2 people doing it together, 2 people and an assistant or an aide or whatever we bring in, whoever we bring in to help with that. So that's our top end of the funnel, is the $25K. Now that's one kind of coaching program that would work for a lot of people, and maybe not so many for others. So here's the funnel again. You can see that here's the $25K at the bottom, and it is the one that gets our coaching. It gets you a ton of coaching is what it gets you. It gets you the 2 days, expenses paid, except travel, includes everything in this funnel above. So in other words, you get into the mastermind, which is again coming together 1 weekend a year with 5 other people. And then it also gets you the lifetime insiders and everything else that's in this funnel, including the NAMS workshop. So that's all included there. Now, let's go to the next one, which is the mastermind. Everything in the funnel previous. That's the 10K. So with the mastermind, this is the way a lot of coaching programs go, and they start with a mastermind session. So they've got, it's kind of a group. It is definitely a group coaching, but it's 5 to 6 people, and it's high end, and people get together either once a month or once a week or every other week or however else you set it up. And then probably, and more than likely, you get together once a year as a group or twice a year as a group sometimes. So you can set up your coaching program however you want to do that, but you offer a mastermind, which is 10K. Now, why would people pay you 10K for leading a mastermind? One, it would be that you bring in these people and you train them yourself. You train them on everything that you can. A mastermind in this sense is not people actually working together to help each other in the Napoleon Hill sense, but a mastermind is you are the mastermind and you are teaching and training them in that mastermind session. So let's see, or you can actually have a mastermind where you bring in additional people to talk to them about that, and that's out of your pocket. So that's one of the reasons that you have a mastermind where you charge and get 10K. So I do masterminds as well, and it's really kind of cool that I have done masterminds with our instructors. So we have some instructor mastermind activity going on too. Lifetime insiders, it's going to be the next one that we look at. It is everything in the funnel previously, $39.99 one-time fee. And that came about because I had a lot of lifetime people, a lot of insiders who were wanting to have lifetime insider stuff. So I decided to make it a really good offer, not just the insiders group, but including the email coaching, so they would get the daily email coaching. They get the monthly insiders club, which is here. They get all of the stuff that's in the site. They get the workshop, all of the micro workshops, not just the ones that you're active for, but all of the micro workshops. And this would include also lifetime email coaching. So this lifetime thing is about the best thing that we offer at the moment, I think. So it's really key to us to get people involved in that. One of the things that I've done with this, because these are all new offerings for me this year, is that I have added monthly payments to this and this for the email coaching lifetime. By the way, the email coaching lifetime is $1997. This is the annual email coaching lifetime, or the annual email coaching. So let's see, Kathy, you said that you guys lost audio to what was? Where were you? What was I saying when you lost the audio? Was it at the previous? Was it here on where we were talking about the lifetime insiders? Or was it earlier in the mastermind? I'm going to back up to the insiders. So what I was saying about the insiders was that it includes everything in the funnel, and I think the Insiders Club is probably the most incredible offer that we have, because it is fully lifetime insiders group, and it also is lifetime email coaching group, and then it's all of the other products that are up here, including the workshop. So for $39.99, people get all of the workshops and all of the everything else in the funnel up there. You don't get the mastermind, you don't get the VIP days. Okay? All right. The next one was email only. So these are the types of coaching systems that I've set up, and you should be setting up in your own system. Now, you don't necessarily have to have all of these, but they are ways for you to actually cater to different folks in your coaching system. So I have daily email coaching plus open office hours. Now, I didn't talk about open office hours, but it is actually one level of, it's coming up. It's one level of coaching that we do as well. So you'll see this in a second. But the daily email coaching is, you send an email about specific questions each day, and we focus on that. I'll come back to the mastermind in a second then, Virginia, as we go through this, okay? So the daily email coaching plus the open office hours is $397 a month, $997 a year, $1997 lifetime. So that's accessible for a lot of people who don't feel comfortable doing the $39.99 or the $10K or the $25K. Now, they would get this in the email coaching only. This is what they get. They don't get, and I'll show you in the funnel, that they don't get everything else that's above. They only get the email coaching. So if they want to be an Insiders Club member, they still have to be an Insiders Club member. So I'm trying to make it very easy for them to move right into the Lifetime Insiders Club or one of these other higher ticket items on an annual basis for coaching. Okay. Then we have the open office hours. That's Tuesday a.m. between 10 and noon. We have an open line. People can register and sign up for open line calls there. This is part of the coaching. The coaching group all get these. The daily email coaching gets this. Anybody who just wants that, it's $97 a month. So there you go. And let's see. Then I'll show you. I don't think that's actually on my funnel, but I have that here in this funnel area, and that's just been added as a benefit in there and is separate. So $497 for lifetime Tuesday calls and $97 a month for monthly on that. Then the Insiders Club group coaching. That's the one which most people are in now. It's the $37 a month, although it is going to go to $97 as soon as I hit the numbers. I have a specific number I want to hit, number of members, and we are adding new members all the time. We added 138 members last month, and when we hit the number that I want to hit, it's going to jump and do not pass go. It's going to go to $97 a month for anybody who is new. It's not going to. You're going to be grandfathered in at the $37 a month now opportunity. So that is the coaching models that we have. And just to go over the rest of this funnel, you see that we have the products that we have here this is the low-end continuity product that gets you access to all the tools and the stuff on the site. Then we have the lead gen, which is my top, and I consider the workshop to be a lead generator, a high-end lead generator, which is really good. And then we have 100% commission, a couple of things at 100% commission, and we have free items that we use as well for lead generation. So what I've done is I've walked you through the process from the high-ticket item all the way to the top, so you can see where we are in our system and let you know what the opportunities are. Now, obviously, the more you get into this area inside the green triangle, the more training and stuff that you get and personal attention that you get inside our system. So that's the way it's going to be in your funnel as well. So you wanted to talk about the mastermind again because we had some issues there. Let's see. The mastermind is 10K. That is for 5 to 6 people. And if we do, we can have a second group, but we're not going to have more than 5 to 6 people in a group so that people will work at the same level. We're not going to have, we'll have a 100, 200 group and a 300, 400 group. We're not going to have a 400 person in the same group with a 100 person. That just doesn't work. So people would get very frustrated with that. And let's see, the mastermind includes 1 weekend meeting a month or 1 week meeting a month, weekday meeting a month. We haven't really determined whether it will be a weekend or weekday session. It may be someplace where we would all meet. It may be someplace that you all come. So it could be that you all come to my house. But in any case, that's what the mastermind is. And it is all about 2 ways of doing a mastermind. One is teaching, so that the person running the mastermind, in my case it would be me, in your case it's you. You could be teaching and helping people implement specifically on their site. on their business. Or it could be that you actually facilitate a mastermind where you actually bring in people to teach specific topics as well, for that one-on-one type activities that you get in a very small group mastermind. So that's what the mastermind is. Now, for the Insiders Coaching, if you're not a member of Insiders, you can get the 7-day trial now at insiders.com, namsinsiders.com. namsinsiders.com is where that is, and that's $7 right now, $37 a month, and you get a ton of benefit from that. And you get, if you go to nams.ws/PC, nams.ws/PC, you'll see the 2 coaching levels that I'm offering right now, which is the email coaching and the lifetime NAMS Insiders Club. That's the $3,000 and the multi-level email coaching where you can do monthly or annual or lifetime email coaching. The lifetime's obviously the best deal on that. And the I think right now we're actually offering a 10-month payment period on the My NAMS Insiders Club coaching. One last tip I'm going to give you about pricing. And I got this from Frederick Lehrman. It's interesting. I'm going to start with Frederick Lehrman and end with Frederick Lehrman. People will pay you what they will pay you. And then when you get enough people paying you what they're paying you, in other words, this is how it worked with my wife. I'll give you an example again with private teaching. When she left Atlanta, her hourly rate of private voice teaching was $80 an hour. We came to Alabama, and there were no private voice teachers, but there was not a big market. She was going to have to build the market. So her private voice teaching dropped from $80 an hour to $25 an hour. And that was an overnight drop based on the market. But she took 10 students at $25 an hour, and she said, I will charge you $25 an hour. This is the instruction that came from Frederick Lehrman. I will charge you $25 an hour until somebody is willing to pay my rate, my new rate going forward, at $40 an hour. So as she got new students, as she got people coming in who said, I will pay you $40 an hour, she went back to her students who were paying $25 an hour and said, I have a student that's going to pay $40. You have an option. You can pay $40 now, you can start paying $40 an hour and keep your place, or I have to give your seat to the person who's going to pay the $40. See how that works? You don't raise your price and then fill it. You raise your price and let other people fill it for you. And the lifetime My NAMS Insiders Club coaching right now is not filled. So at $4,000, $39.99 one-time payment, that will be our only price payment going forward once I fill that to the number that I have in mind for the number of people I want in the Insiders Club coaching. Remember, the Insiders Club Lifetime also gets the email coaching, so I can't take a whole bunch of people in that. But until then, until I have filled that, I'm going to do the monthly payments. And the monthly, I think, is $447 or $497, I can't remember, for 10 months. And then once you've paid it, you're done. So you can go to nams.ws/PC and see how that works. And then you can take a look at the 2 coaching offers we have there. If you're interested in the mastermind or the VIP days, contact me directly and we'll work that out. namsinsiders.com is right now, it's where the action's happening, and I love that group. It's basically our feeder group for everything else that we do. It's a feeder group, but it also is an incredible group of dedicated people who really are active in the site. So I love it. Thank you very much for being here. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat box, and I will see what I can do about answering those for you now. I know we're on a little bit of a lag, so I'll just wait a second. Let's see, where is the site here? I'm trying to get over here so I can take a look at that. Okay, anybody in the questions area? I'm waiting for the lag to catch up, I guess. Let's see. Well, Marge says, this is really great presentation. David, chock full, more than an hour's worth. Thanks. I will have the PDF and I will have the replay up. I have recorded it in both Camtasia, and we'll see how the YouTube does. Since it's on my computer, it should have been fine, but we will take a look. Virginia says, thanks for sharing your business plan as you're developing it. Talk about credibility. You got it. Thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry some of you had audio issues with Webinar Jam or the Google Hangouts, whichever it was. This is getting better all the time, by the way, and I'm really looking forward to it. So if you have any questions about the coaching page or about the stuff that we have on that coaching page, that was nams.ws/PC, just shoot me an email in here and we will talk about it. So it is all about getting you moving to the next level with the Insiders Club Elite lifetime, and it is $447 for 10 months right now, $447 for 10 months, and it includes the daily email coaching, which is right now it's $19.99 and $347 per month, but that's not for 10 months. That's $347 per month, and we do have an annual on that for $9.97 as well. So let me know. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.